Hello, Flated friends and fellow roadies. Ken Hoeve, one of the co-founders of Flated. Today, bringing you one of the most concise videos that I've ever put together that shows you how to properly install your air topper. And not only that, I'm going to take you through what it's like for when the box arrives, what's inside the box, and also how to get it properly outfitted onto your truck. And the other reason behind this video is that I want to make sure that you get exactly what you expect. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of different style of camper shells or toppers that are out there, and ours is just one of them. Ours is a very simple and easy one to use, and also equally as easy to store when it's not in use. And what I mean by that is that most toppers, you leave them on all the time. And if you do take them off, you have to call up a few friends to help you lift it off. And then you also have to find a place to store it. With ours, it comes in a bag, you inflate it, you put it on, you go do your adventure, and then you come back, you take it off, you deflate it, you put it on a shelf till its next use. That brings me to the next comment or question that we get from so many of our owners is that, can I leave the topper on all the time? Yes, you can, but that's not really what it's intended to do. It's intended so that you can use it when you want to use it and then easily take it off when you don't. If you did decide to leave it on full time, you just want to make sure that you wash it, you keep it clean, and that you also use two of the products that we now offer that are not only a cleaner, but also a protectant and kind of a lubricant, something that keeps the material supple and also protects it from the sun. If you want a full-time topper, if you're looking for something to leave on all the time, there's a lot of great options out there. Ours is just the option that you want the topper on when you want to use it, and then when you don't, you just take it off and store it. All right, enough of that. Let's get to what happens once the box arrives. And although I'm going to show you how to get one of our air toppers out of the box once you receive it, I'm actually going to use my own personal air topper on my 2022 Toyota Tacoma, one that I've had for about a year and a half and probably 45,000 miles. And I had to get it outfitted for my next road trip adventure, so I thought I'd use this one for the demonstration. Inside the box, you're not only going to find the topper, you're also going to have the windows, the straps, a repair kit, and J-hooks. Now, inside a little plastic baggie, you're going to see a plastic tube, a little plastic piece. And inside that is your repair kit, but that's also home to the J-hooks, which are going to help you install it. And there's 7 straps that are inside that kit. 6 of them are for strapping down the topper to your truck bed. And then one of those straps is very unique. It's a long strap that on one side of it, it has Velcro, and that is intended to wrap around your tailgate, tighten it up, and then your back window seals to that. And inside that repair kit is also a protectant film that if you're worried about the paint on the tailgate of your truck, you can simply adhere this to it and then put the strap on, and it'll protect you from scratching up your paint. A question that we often get is, how long is it going to take me to install? From the moment you get it for the first time in the box, I would budget 45 minutes to an hour to get it on. Once you've figured it out and have it dialed in, it's really easy and should only take you about 20 minutes from the moment you take it out of the bag, inflate it, and then get it installed into your truck. So now you're starting to take pieces and parts out of the box and getting ready for the install. You can take out the topper and the windows and all the parts that I mentioned, and you're gonna get to inflating them. Another thing to consider, I'm shooting this indoors right now in December. It's frigid outside in Colorado. Your windows, if they're really cold when you initially try to install them, they can feel kind of rigid. So take those windows out, open them up, and let them warm up, and they'll be way more supple when you want to put them on and will fit much better. And then another thing to keep in mind is that when we ship these, they are vacuumed down and they are sealed up tight. So when you initially inflate them, things like the rain skirt or the little borders, the rain protectants that go along your windows, they might be wrinkled, but I promise you, given just a few days in the sunshine and warming up, and also for them to fall in place, those wrinkles will work themselves out. It's almost like when you get a brand new shirt and you undo it out of the packaging, there's a few wrinkles in it, but they slowly work their way out of it. So keep that in mind. If there's wrinkles in some of this, don't worry about it. They're going to come out. Now, although we offer a variety of truck bed sizes, we have two different styles. We have the air topper mid-rise and the air topper cap, and there's two significant differences between those. One is the overall shape and volume and room of those. The air topper mid-rise is slightly taller than the cab of your truck, meaning it gives you more headroom if you're camping in the back, and also gives you more space in the back. But some people don't like the look of a higher topper, so that's why we made the cap, which is one that sits lower and sits more profile with the cab of your truck. The other big difference between those two different toppers is that the mid-rise has 4 different valves on it. There's 2 on each wall, 1 on the roof, and then 1 that's up by the bulkhead on the cab nearest to the cab of the truck. On the cap, there are only 2 valves. So once again, a mid-rise has 4 valves, a cap has 2 valves. And while we're at it, let's talk about the valves, since we're going to get to inflating. When your air topper arrives, the valves may be opened. Now there's a cap on top, you take that off, and then the valve is actually inside. If the valve is open, that means it's pushed in and down, and that when you put air in it, when you take the hose off, air will escape. When you inflate your topper, you want that valve closed. So you're gonna simply turn the valve so that the little nipple, the little plastic piece, is popping up. Now you're ready to inflate it. Another question that we get is, how much air pressure do I need? We recommend inflating the air topper or any of our products from 5 to 8 PSI. That's 5 to 8 pounds per square inch. And I would say initially when you first inflate it, just go to 5 pounds. That's what I drive around with, and that is ample pressure. And we did this so that it offers you more room for expansion of air, especially in hot temperatures. And another thing of note is if you're using the hand pump and you're pumping for a little while, you'll say, man, it's starting to inflate, but I don't see anything registering on the gauge itself, on the hand pump. That's because it really won't start to register anything until you get to 4 PSI. So if you don't see it registering, keep pumping until it gets to 5 to 8 PSI. And if hand pumping these up seems like it might be too much work for you, we also offer an optional electric pump, which does everything. All you have to do is preset it to 5 to 8 pounds, put it inside the valve, turn it on, it'll inflate it, and then you simply take it out once it's stopped and you're good to go. Put the cap back on and move on to the next valve. Now let's go over the install. You've inflated each chamber and you're ready to put it on. So you just simply pick it up and you slide it on. You're gonna notice that there is a rain skirt that goes around the border of your air topper. And this air skirt is not meant to like truly wrap around, especially the front of your cab up closest between the truck bed and the cab of your truck. It's more of something that seals it off. And there's a couple tricks to get this to fit properly. And what that is, pick the topper up, slide it onto the bed of your truck. Then, if you have someone with you, they can simply reach under and take that rain flap and pull it out so that it kind of lays over the front. And again, it's not going to wrap around the cab. It just sort of lays more neatly over the front of your bed rail. But if you don't have anybody with you, I have an easy remedy. Before you strap everything down, just slightly pick up the front leading edge of the air topper and push out that little rain skirt so it's more scooted out, and then you're ready to strap it down. And when you strap it down, you're gonna start with the front D-rings and the front straps to secure it into place. And another little pro tip on that is that if you take the strap and you wrap it once around the D-ring that's on the air topper and then go through the little lockout points on your truck, when you cinch it down, it keeps that strap from moving around. And then one other thing to remember with the air topper is that you don't want the air topper pushed all the way up against the cab of your truck, meaning that the air topper is actually touching the cab. You want to leave a little bit of a gap in there. And with a 4-inch wall that's up there, we've left room so that you can scoot it forward or back so that it'll fit accordingly. And there's a couple reasons that you don't want it to touch the cab of your truck. One is that as the truck bed moves, we don't want to cause any wear on your paint. And the other is you'll hear it. It'll make a squeaking noise. So like I said, just simply scoot that back just a little bit and it's going to fit perfectly. And one thing to consider before ordering one is that our air toppers aren't like a precision fit that you would say find with a composite topper. I have a 2022 Tacoma, and there's a variety of toppers out there that they're almost surgical with how precise that they fit. These fit overall very, very well and are very weather and rain proof, but you're not gonna have that super precision edge that matches up. There's a little bit of fluctuation in it so that you can move it around and snug it down to fit your truck. Now, once I have the topper on, I have those front straps cinched down, then I'm gonna work my way back. I'm gonna go to the J-hooks, which I just open up the Velcro on the window, put the strap through it, put the J-hook on it, and then attach that underneath the bed rail and cinch that up. From there, we're gonna move to the very back of the truck, closest to the tailgate, and then we're gonna do the same thing that we did on those front straps. Wrap it around, go through the lockout that's at the bottom, and then cinch it down. Now your topper's secure. But again, make sure it's not touching the cab, make sure that that rain flap is out, doesn't have to be wrapped around, and take a look at it because you're pretty much already there. All you have to do now, those windows that you've let thaw out, if the temperatures are cold, lay them out flat and get ready to put those on. And that's super easy. All you do is release that Velcro flap, put the window on, and then seal the Velcro on the other side of the window, and those will be secured. Then you're gonna move on to the back window, which is pretty much the same as the side windows. Just open up that flap, put the window in, and then seal it with those rain flaps. Now you're gonna put on that tailgate strap that I mentioned at the beginning. And if you wanna use the protectant, that's very easy. You just wet it with soapy water. There's a squeegee in there. You push out the bubbles, and that'll protect your paint. If you're not concerned about it, you're just gonna go ahead and take that strap, wrap it around, and then cinch it down, match the Velcro up with the back side of the window, and that is gonna seal it in place. And then lastly, the window straps. How do you use those? They're super simple. They're basically just Velcro. All you do, release the Velcro, roll your window up, wrap the strap around it, and then re-secure the Velcro. One other thing that we get asked pretty commonly is, how do I store the windows when they're not on the topper and I've stored the topper? For me personally, all I do, keep them clean, wipe them off, roll them up, and then take a rubber band or a strap, run it around it, and then put them on a shelf. I hope this video helps clarify exactly how our air topper works and also what you can expect from the moment it arrives in the box to you get it up onto your truck and you get it installed, and also gives you some of those little insider tips on how to make it fit better. And also just to make sure that this is exactly what you want before you order it, and that you completely understand how it works, how it's gonna fit, and how it would work for you, and also how easy it is just to inflate, install, and adventure, and then once you're done, deflate, roll it up, and put it on a shelf. As always, if you have any questions, concerns, or compliments, anything that you want to share with us, please reach out to us through customer service or email us, and we'd be happy to answer it. There's a lot of options out there with truck toppers. Ours is just one of them, and we hope you love it as much as we do.